Good frickin' morning. If you guys watched my YouTube channel back over in the summer, you'd remember that I did a want to be cool scene of me pretending to wake up and to my alarm and whatnot, and you could see the mic in the video, and you get the gist. It didn't turn out the way that I wanted to. I was fully planning on doing exactly that this morning. And then I realized, you know what? I'm just going to yap. So it is just after 7, and I am about to get up and start my day a little bit later than usual. I was up a little bit later than usual working. Previous video, we chatted more or less about high training intensity, working out strategies. Today, more or less, I want to talk about staying on track and routines and what to do when you fall out of routine and all that jazz. So I'm going to basically bring you guys through my daily routine, but more or less kind of talk about how it impacts me, allows me to do the things that I want to do in life and with my life, and then what I then would do if I was out of routine. So I'm going to walk you guys through everything today and probably catch a workout. Well, we will catch a workout. I'm just not 100% sure if I'm going to film it or not yet. Probably, but I don't think I have anyone to film, so we're going to have to navigate that one. But I'm going to go jump in the shower and then bring you guys through the start of my day. Whoa. I think we misunderstood. I'm going to go shower. I'll see you guys after.
Ain't no holler back, girl. Ain't no holler back, girl. Ooh.
That's my shit. I thought I told you guys. I'm showering. Really? All right, for those of you asking, which is absolutely nobody, this is the morning look. No pump, no pre-workout, no food, fasted as words, brother. As fasted as I could get. Like, not a thing in me right now. So, relaxed. It's nothing special. So honestly, the reason why I kind of wanted to show this is I find a lot of people compare themselves to other people online. And one thing I want to put out there is everything you see online is an individual's best. There's very few individuals who actually put themselves out there enough to show their worst, their relaxed look, their not best angle, the photo that wasn't edited the best. Everything in between. So don't compare yourself to others online. Stay in your own lane. Focus on what you're doing, because my relaxed look looks a hell of a lot different than my flex look. Like, it's two very different things. The best angles that I try and find to showcase my physique, or whatever the hell you want to call it, it's not a true representation into exactly what I look like on a day-to-day basis. Now, I'm guilty for it as well. Yeah, I want to post my best. I want to advertise my best look as often as possible. But I am wanting to also showcase, like, hey, this is what I look like on a normal basis, because this is the reality of things. So, once again, don't compare yourself to people online. Stay in your own lane. Focus on you. You'll be chilling. Okay, now that I am done with my little pose down motivational speaking, I got a few other things done around the house. Our good friend Tate is coming in today. So Tate, when you watch back at this, just know this is what I did all day while I was waiting to pick your ass up at midnight. Let's pick an earlier flight, my guy. It's a little late for a Thursday.
But anyway, besides the point, got some stuff done around the house, got my laundry done, cleaned my room, cleaned the crib kind of thing. Just little tedious tasks that I like to do every morning before I officially start my day. I like to start in a clean space. That's just who I am. And if you don't know that by now, well, you should probably figure it out because that's never going to change. But yeah, getting back to my routine here and staying on track and everything in between. One of the biggest things that I picked up was reading the Bible and expanding my faith. And I'm not here to push religion or any sort of beliefs onto anybody. But I will say this has been one of the most impactful choices that I have made in my life. It has broadened my perspective in ways that I didn't think was honestly possible. I've only been in the mix with it for 6 to 8 months, like not hardcore, but like basically reading the Bible every single day, attending church majority of Sundays. I do fall off track. I am human. There are days that I miss reading the Bible. There are Sundays that I don't attend church for whatever reason, but at the end of the day, I am in the process of expanding my faith and learning more about God and everything in between. And I do find that it does kind of help with keeping me on track and true to who I am, because every single day I'm building my perspective on life, God, myself, relating to a lot of different stories and situations that happen in the Bible and everything in between. And so, yeah, this is one of the biggest things that I have found that have impacted my life the most, besides going to the gym, but we will talk more or less about that in the gym later today. So yeah, basically I start every single day, majority of days, reading one section of the Bible. I do some journaling after, write about what I read, and then furthermore, my relations to it, and then whatever other thoughts that I kind of have going on there. But yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of my day. It's my me time. It's where I'm at peace, get to relax, chill. And I do truly think that when one does start to pursue any sort of self-growth journey, that they really should set aside some time each and every day that is proper and that is going to allow them to have their downtime, whether that's 30 minutes before bed, you're reading a book, starting your day reading a book, meditation, journaling, reading the Bible, even watching your favorite TV show, not going on your phone and being consumed by all the BS on social media. Turn your brain off, relax, do whatever works for you and have your you time, because at the end of the day, you are human and you do need to reset, shut down, restart, so on and so forth. So I am going to dive right in, do my journaling. I was debating on doing a speed ramp and letting you guys watch me do my thing here, but this is my me time, so I'll catch you guys in a bit. All right, now that we are done our reading, journaling, everything in between there, we are going to dive into the work day today. It's a Thursday, so basically towards the end of the week, my workload does taper off compared to a Monday, Tuesday, and somewhat a Wednesday. As Monday and Tuesday are specifically check-in days for my clients. Wednesday is just kind of overview, and then Thursday, Friday is more or less just kind of keeping up with everything, getting ahead for the next week, little things like that. But first order of business before diving into the workday, usually got coffee going, but I found one of these bad boys in the fridge, and there is no sound better than that. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of Alani's, but their blue slush one, that one hit. They did good on that one. I haven't tried many of the other flavors, so if you guys got some good recommendations, please do let me know. But yeah, in regards to my routine and kind of how I go about my workday, I'll probably sit here for a good 2.5, 3 hours and just get as much done as I possibly can. And then I'll dive into having my first meal of the day. I typically like to fast until about noon and then kind of backload all of my calories that I consume towards the end of the day. It's just what works for me. There's no real rhyme or reason on exactly why I do it or anything science-based, scientific, whatever the heck you want to call it. It's just what I like to do and it's what works for me. I like to wake up, get my morning routine done, and jump right into my work so I can get as much as I possibly can done. and then to an extent enjoy the rest of my day, especially if my workload is a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna jump in, hang out, chat with some of the clients, get some other work stuff done here, start editing this YouTube video so I can get ahead on that and drop it next week. But yeah, in regards to the routine side of things, staying on track, everything in between, obviously when I'm at home and in the comfort of my own space and whatnot, it's quite easy to stay on track, stay on routine, stay on my diet, this, that, whatever. But when you are on the go, and whether you are traveling, you're with friends, family, whatever the case may be, your routine is going to change. So when it does come down to those areas, you need to be mindful of what you are doing and how you can still stay on track while living your life. So for example, I'm going on a trip to Florida in 2.5, 3 weeks here. I will be vlogging and posting a YouTube video while I am there. When I am on that trip, like, I'm still gonna bring my work. I'm still going to get stuff done because I'm a business owner. I don't get the luxury of getting a weekend or a day off or anything along those lines. But my workload is gonna be strategically maneuvered in regards to spending time with my family, hanging out by the pool, catching some sun, going and exploring the areas of Florida that we're going to be staying, so on and so forth. So when it comes down to it, your routine's going to change, and sometimes you're going to have to move stuff around. But at the end of the day, as long as you are getting what needs to get done, then you are going to stay on track. And this applies to your guys' everyday life, whether it's fitness-based, nutrition-based, habit-based. It does not matter. So one thing I like to do is I got a checklist of things here that I got to get done today. I don't have them timed out at specific times I need to get them done by, but as long as I get those done, then I'm on track. I'm still progressing and doing what needs to be done in order for me to see the progress and results within what I'm doing that I want to be seeing. So if you got busy days and you don't know when you're going to be able to hit the gym, try and plan ahead. Maybe it's not gonna be your usual time of going at 5 p.m. or 5 a.m. or whatever works best for you. But as long as you get in there and get it done, you're staying on track, you're doing what you need to do, and everything's gonna be totally fine. In regards to your meals, yeah, maybe there's gonna be a time and place where you can't necessarily follow your meal plan or your macros or whatever, but just make mindful choices. If you are doing exactly that, you're gonna be putting yourself in the best possible position to stay on track and see the progress that you wanna be seeing. So with that being said, I'm gonna dive into my work day, and I'll check in back with you guys when I go in for my first meal. That did not go as planned, but with that being said, it is time to eat. My first meal of the day is usually a little bit on the leaner side, lighter in calories, higher in protein, because I just want to get my protein intake as high as possible at the beginning of the day, because I typically like to eat out. So I do kind of like to pre-prepare for the factor of, if I do eat out later, I, one, have room for the calories, and then two, my protein intake is already high enough that if I decided to not necessarily have the highest protein meal, when I do decide to eat out, I'm good. So first meal of the day is going to be Greek yogurt, protein powder, some frozen raspberries, and this meal alone is give or take 300 calories and minimum 50 grams of protein. I do go a little bit heavier on the protein powder itself. I personally don't think it is a bad thing to have too much protein powder. It doesn't necessarily mess with my digestive system, still learning how to talk. And furthermore, it doesn't affect my body in a negative way. So I'm going to utilize it. We are going to whip up this meal really quick. And then, yeah, kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier in regards to balance and routine and everything in between. I find pre-planning a lot of the stuff allows you to stay on track, stay within your routine, this, that, whatever. As you guys can tell, I don't weigh my meals, and I haven't been for quite some time. Now, I know a lot of you, especially my clients, are gonna look at this and be like, Tyler, what the fuck? And yeah, I know. I tell you all to eat your meals and weigh them out and this and that and track this and track that. And yeah, I did for 5 years. And I've kind of gotten to the point now where I know what I'm doing. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna look at that and be like, oh, well, you could look better, feel better, this, that, whatever. I like how I look. I feel great. And to be honest with you, what I'm doing is working for me. And at the end of the day, I think that's the most important thing, that you are doing what works best for you. So at this point in my life where I'm at with my goals and what I want to do, weighing every single meal out doesn't necessarily work with me. I just don't want to. So of course, me dropping that, put the scoop all the way at the bottom. Come on now. So yeah, learning how to speak still. So yeah, at this point in time, I don't weigh out my meals, but I do have the general knowledge of what a high protein meal looks like, what lean proteins are, high calorie foods, low calorie foods. I've been doing this for over half a decade, so it's safe to say that I have some sort of knowledge in everything that I'm doing here. So that's the beauty in it. When you kind of do the hard shit at the beginning in regards to tracking your workouts, tracking your food, doing this, doing that, like once you kind of know, you can then just kind of do it without having to follow a checklist or track every meal or do this or do that and be able to see progress. Like another wild point that's going to throw you guys in the absolute blender right now. I haven't stepped on a scale in, I don't even know how long. I know that I'm around 190, 195 pounds, but I base everything off how I look and how I feel. I look at myself in the mirror and go, you know what? I'm holding a little bit of water. I'm looking a little fluffier, this, that, whatever. I'm gonna be a little bit more mindful with my nutrition for the next 2 to 4 weeks to tighten up, to do this, to do that. Now, obviously, like mentioned before, I have a vacation in 3 weeks. So that's literally what I'm doing right now. I'm being a little bit more mindful when I do eat out. I'm being a little bit more mindful with the meals I consume on a day-to-day basis. But I'm not weighing or tracking anything other than my workouts. Like I track progression within weights, reps, all that. I am tracking my cardio, my step count day to day. But even then, like my step count day to day is pretty broad. I more or less just hold myself accountable to a couple of 30-minute walks, some post-workout cardio, and making sure that I train like an absolute freak. And that's what's working for me. And like I said, if you do the hard shit at the beginning with tracking everything, learning everything, so on and so forth, you're gonna be able to put yourself in a position where you can just kind of go, really, not through the motions, but with intention. So that's basically where I'm at, how I operate, what I do, and it's working. So let that be the lesson learned of do the hard shit, put yourself in the position to learn, grow, and progress. And then later on in life, you're not gonna have to weigh out every single meal in order to see your abs. Like they're there, I hope, and it's working. So do what works best for you, do it consistently, do it with intention, and you're gonna be just fine. All right, we finished our pre-workout meal. We are on the way to the gym. Absolute rookie mistake on my end. My camera is gonna die. So might get a clip in the gym to kind of close things out. But I wanted to chat furthermore about just within your routine, the consistency within it, and kind of making do with what is thrown at you sometimes. Like, you're not always gonna be able to follow your routine 100%. A day like today was a perfect example. Like, I didn't wake up at my usual time. I normally like to wake up 5:30, 6 latest. And today was one of those days that I didn't crawl out of bed till 7:30. Didn't start doing my scripture and journaling until closer to 8:30, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, I have a list of things that I want to get done on a daily basis. And as long as I get those things done, and that means I'm staying on track and able to continue to progress within everything that I'm doing. And this always applies within everything you're doing, whether it's the gym, personal life, business, it really does not matter. So At the end of the day, a lot of us really want to develop this crazy routine that's going to keep us on track and allow us to do X, Y, and Z. But you just need to be making sure that you're prioritizing getting your shit done, whether it's in routine or not in routine. I don't care if you're on vacation, you're going and visiting family, you and your friends are going on an all-inclusive vacation, you can still get your workouts in, you can still be mindful of your eating. If you're on an all-inclusive vacation, probably drink some extra water because we already know the booze is flowing. But I feel like you guys get the point here. So with that all being said, I'm going to enjoy my 20 milli vanilla here, my good old pre-workout, and I'll see you guys in the gym. Alright, so we just finished up our workout. Quick little pump check here, but the topic of today's YouTube video is just everyone wants a routine, everyone wants to be as effective and efficient as possible, but at the end of the day, rather than trying to build the perfect routine and live like a robot, do your absolute best to just get what you can done each day. As long as you're becoming 1% better each and every day, you're going to progress towards that goal that you are chasing. So don't worry too much about the routine, worry about what you're actually needing to get done. Focus on those areas, and I promise you, you're going to get to where you want to go.